Millions of Canadians are spending more and more time in their home offices. In fact, according to the Small Business Association of Canada, there are approximately 2.5 million home-based businesses in our country, and the number continues to grow. Unfortunately, home offices are often a challenge to keep neat and tidy. Does your home office look like this? Yikes. Even if it's not this bad, professional organizer Colette Robicheau is here with some tips to make your space more productive and professional looking. Have you ever seen offices that look this bad?
Oh, definitely, and much worse.
Really?
For sure.
In real life, these aren't, these pictures aren't, it's unbelievable. Okay, so Colette, these people obviously need help.
They do need help, for sure, and we've got some tools and techniques today to help them out.
Okay, so what's the number one problem, before we show off the tools here, what's the number one problem you notice that people kind of come across when it comes to organization creating their home office?
Well, the home office, they sort of neglect it because people aren't seeing it the way they would in an office environment.
Right.
And it's also used for other reasons. It could be a spare room as well. The kids could be playing in there, and it can become almost like that junk drawer as well, where things get thrown in. So home offices have other challenges.
Should you separate your home office, like your business, from your personal stuff?
I'm a big believer in that. Your home office, that's your revenue producing area, so you really want to keep that away. You don't want the kids playing on your computer. It's really good to separate that out and be serious about your home office.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, let's get right to it and show off some of this stuff here. What's the first thing you've brought along?
Well, the first thing we brought along was a way to organize our contacts. And if you're like me, you're not a great typist, you don't have a lot of time. Often I go to people's homes, they've got piles and piles of business cards around. Something like a card scan, you pop the card in, it goes into your software on your computer, and automatically you've got that information to use for marketing or your suppliers, and it's nice and easy.
And it alphabetizes it as well.
Oh, it does all kinds of wonderful things.
Oh, wow, that is perfect.
And another product is this labeler, which many of us are frustrated trying to get those mailing labels, those sheets of 20 or 30. Is it this way? Is it that way? Which way to get in? This can be attached to each computer and print off one label simply, easily. I'm not a tech geek, and I love things that make my life easy.
And anyone can read it.
Anyone.
Yeah, because
anyone.
some people, some of us, might not have the neatest writing, right?
Right? Exactly, exactly. And speaking of not the neatest writing, when we're creating our files or putting things in a binder to manage projects, we like to have these labeled properly as well. Often I'll see people with lots of files, they don't think to put a label on. So either use a labeler again to put the name on so you can read it clearly, or just use a marker or something you can see it. And when you're creating files, keep only the files on your desk that you need the most. Things that are within arm's reach that you need often, and it could be the bills to pay, it could be things for school, and the other, get them off your desk. You want that workspace as clear as possible.
I work better when there isn't clutter in front of me.
Everyone does.
You're also using color coding here. I think color coding,
Yes, for sure. That way you can grab it if it's on your desk without even reading it. You can grab it and you know that the blue one is always a certain thing, the red one is for something else. And the other thing when you're using a sorter like this, make sure it's tiered like this so you can read it easily, that they're not all jammed together. That way you can just grab it and know what you're working with.
Yeah, you're not having to flip through looking for it. What's this thing?
This is something that supports your laptop, and a few reasons for that is ergonomically, you want it on an incline of 12 to 35 degrees. You want it to be able to breathe. And one of my other pet peeves that make things look messy is to sort the cords. Often these days we've got so many things going on. So this has a cord sorter in it. Also, these two items work in that regard as well. You can plug things in. This one in particular is great to use as a docking station for your BlackBerry. The cord can simply drop out of the back. And what these products do as well is they create some vertical space. Often in home offices, we have smaller desks. So this way it's built up a little bit. You can have some other things sitting on the top and underneath, but you want to keep that desk place clear to work, as clear as possible, and get all the items that you don't need for work off.
What about using the wall, putting shelves, doing that kind of thing?
Oh, that's a great idea. The same as in this way, we come up on the desk, we want to go up in our office as well. That's a lot of great space that we can grab by getting shelves up over us.
What about storing things on the floor? Is that a good idea?
It's not bad if you're not tripping over it. So usually we say when we go into someone's home as an organizer, we're looking up and under for space. So those are some key places we can find some extra space.
Are there, are there things that people do without realizing that they're using space improperly? that you'd have a tip on?
Well, they leave lots of those files laying around. They think they don't have room, but actually to get them in something like this or a file cabinet, it's actually a better way to store space. The other thing is by using the lateral file cabinets instead of going up, because if you go up, you can get a lot of space with this sort of file cabinet. Instead of going laterally, you can't get the same amount of space. So think up, think using that vertical space a little bit better.
And how often should you be doing like a purge to get rid of things in your office? Like how often should you be scanning and, you know, saying to yourself, I might not need this anymore?
Well, I'd like to say regularly, because
Right.
what happens if you make it an event every so often, it doesn't become a behavioral issue. We want you to be doing things regularly and behaviorally. So if you're flipping through your files and you see something that's no longer needed, you know, pull it out. Or if you're in your file cabinet, go to the one before, the one after, and pull some out. And every once in a while, have a good clear out. But if you try and make it a little more behaviorally as you go along, it'll make it easier for the long run, so you don't procrastinate saying, oh, I have so much work to do.
It's not just about being neat, it's about being organized, but also your home office is a place where you might have clients come.
Yes, possibly. And a lot of people call me in because they want to have clients come in, and they really can't because it looks like some of those photos.
They're slightly embarrassed by it.
That's right.
If you need Colette's help, you can find her at
OrganizeAnything.com.
organizeanything.com, and you can go and you can fix the
Definitely.
pictures that we showed earlier.
Definitely.
I can't even believe it. It's how long
And
would
we
it
can have
take
some
to
fun doing
how
that.
long would it take to organize an office like that?
Well, everything is a little different, and some people work faster and have more decision-making time to decide what to do with things, but it can vary. A lot of times I set up a 3-hour meeting with a client originally, and we get a lot done in that time, and a lot of people can carry on their own.
Wow. All right, we're going to take a look at those pictures one more time. OrganizeAnything.com. Colette Robicheau is a professional organizer, and she can get you organized even if your desk looks like this.